And we are back. Thank you again for tuning in. Joined by Grubby. And we've got a pretty exciting match coming up. It's MMA versus Nerchio. These are two guys off the team Acer. We've had some great, really close series today, as you and I have predicted, all day long. It's been a fantastic, absolutely stunning day of close matches.
That is true, if you remove the close one. The word close? No, but it was stunning matches. But it happens, man. Like, both players have time of a week to prepare specifically for each other. They're mostly just thinking of that first match. So to some degree the rest of the weekend, but mostly this one. Because if you get this one, you're going to Canada, you got more time to prepare. So oftentimes, one will hit the mark, and the other guy quite won't. So it can happen that it's like one-sided like this.
Oh, absolutely. When all things come down to this, I mean, they're playing for so much. There's the WCS points you talked about. There is just this tournament alone. It's almost a sin to look beyond this tournament. This is the European Championship, for Pete's sakes. This is where some of the best players on the entire world reside. So it's a big deal. Yeah. We need to remember that. And that brings up the extremes you talked about.
Yeah, that's how I felt like when I was playing. Everyone was talking about like going to the Season 3 finals or the Season 2 finals, I should say, and maybe BlizzCon, blah, blah. And I was thinking like, this tournament, this is really something. Like, I'm not just thinking about qualifying for another tournament. Like, I want to do well here. And I think you would definitely not be in the wrong to think like that, because this tournament in itself is already very prestigious. A lot of things to be won.
Couldn't say it better myself, Grubby. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and start introducing our last two players of the day. As usual, there is an awesome little video getting to know one of these guys. It is Nerchio.
My name is Artur, I'm from Poland, Bydgoszcz, and I'm a professional StarCraft 2 player.
Nerchio says, you know what, I actually don't mind if I lose every single unit here, as long as I kill every single unit of yours.
Yeah.
Because I have 6 bases, bro.
That's a lot of gas. That's a lot of gas. 1,200 income at any given point in time. And these Corruptors, they both out that GG along with the Mutalisks.
My parents didn't really push me towards anything. They always gave me a free hand, I would say. Of course, they kind of tried to stop me from playing too much, but as you can probably see, it didn't work out. You know, so when I first came back and to tell my parents that I'm actually going to get money for playing, they weren't really surprised, because before that I played and won a lot of online cups, so they knew something like that exists and that there are teams out there.
147 supply to 94. Nerchio is in a really good spot.
And imagine if he didn't lose those centuries earlier on and didn't have to play like this. GG.
So my biggest motivation is definitely being competitive. I don't even, enjoy winning or losing that much, obviously. The biggest, thing I enjoy is during the game, during the match, where you actually, fight against somebody.
The bunkers aren't ready. And Nerchio at 200 supply to 130 here is just powering forward. 4GG is dying to a yet another Zerg player.
I can't think of any moment where I decided to be a pro gamer, but I always consider StarCraft 2 my hobby, and if I don't enjoy the game, I won't play anymore. So, it's hard to call myself a professional gamer since it's what I enjoy.
Thank you very much. Awesome little video put together. Nerchio, a lot of the commentators and kind of the people circling around the scene that I talk about him as one of the most prepared and kind of cerebral players. Like, he really doesn't necessarily sit down to play StarCraft against his opponent. He sits down to play his opponent against his opponent, I feel.
Yeah, I think in his best times, where he's performing the best, that will be accurate. But in those times, as we looked at this interview where he doesn't really feel like playing the game and stuff, he's a little bit more, let's say, I guess, on the automatic pilot. So it's always a huge night and day difference between Nerchio. Does he feel like playing? Did he come to play? Or did he just come because he had to and doesn't really feel like it? So.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see which one of those two showed up, because he's going to need to bring his A game if he's going to beat our next player. Here is a little look at MMA.
안녕하세요. 한국에 살고 있는 문성원이고요. 에이서 팀의 MMA라는 아이디를 쓰고 있고 종종은 테란입니다. 스타1에서는 최현성 코치님한테 많이 영향을 받았고 멘탈적인 부분은 굉장히 많이 도움을 받았어요. 옆자리에서 맨날 게임 배우면서 많이 배웠었고 스타2에서는 지금 웅진 스타즈 코치하고 있는 류영 코치님한테 도움을 굉장히 많이 받았어요. 일단 게임 열심히 하는 거는 누구나 다 열심히 해서 그런 부분은 해놓고 멘탈적으로 많이 좀 다잡으려고 그렇게 노력하고 있어요. 지금 이제는 한국에 돌아가면은 맨날 이제 컴퓨터 앞에서만 연습하고 쉴 때도 컴퓨터 앞에서 쉬었는데 다른 여가 생활 같은 걸 하면서 좀 많이 쉬어야 될 것 같아요. 자꾸 나도 마음속으로 유럽을 잡고 블리즈컨을 가야 된다는 생각을 하는데 이게 맘처럼 되지가 않더라고요. 계속 마음속에서는 블리즈컨 계속 하고 있어가지고 그러면서 맨날 내 손은 팀리퀴드의 포인트 랭킹 보고 있고 그게 말대로 쉽게 되지가 않아요. 어떤 말로도 표현할 수 없을 정도로 너무 기쁘고 나중에 내가 아빠가 되면은 우리 아들한테나 딸한테나 진짜 자랑스럽게 보여줄 수 있을 만한 그런 대회. 이번에 8강에 이기면 그런 표정이 나올 것 같아. 그런 세레머니가 나올 것 같아요. 왜냐면은 시즌 파이널 진출 확정이고 거의 블리즈컨 확정이니까.
There you have it. Nerchio against MMA. And I think this is, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like this is the marquee matchup of the night. I think this is the one that people are probably most excited about.
I think that's why probably it happened to be the fourth match today. What? I think you're right. I mean, these guys, they're both very good against each other's matchup. Like Nerchio against Terran, MMA against Cirque. Very highly anticipated game, and they're on the same team. They know a lot of stuff about each other, and they're even a little bit polar opposites in the way they approach the game from these two interviews. MMA's interview there.
Yeah, I like that he talked all. I mean, that's kind of a theme here, actually. A lot of these guys have talked about where they came from. I know MC talked about in StarCraft 1, it was hard for him to get some success. And then with GSL coming out in StarCraft 2, we saw a lot more of that. And now with MMA, we see him talking about even being tutored by I Love Oob. I mean, for those of you that don't know, that's the guy that just replaced Boxer as the coach of SKT1. I mean, he is one of the absolute big names, just returned from his military service. Yeah. Both these players bring so much to the table. I'm really excited to see where this goes. I mean, we have Nerchio, who is a DreamHack, a Home Story Cup. He's a champion. He's won big tournaments. MMA, when you look at him, certainly even a couple of years ago, he was one of the absolute best Terrans. There was a bit of a lull, and I feel like we're seeing him wake up from that now. This WCS system has reinvigorated him, and we're seeing the MMA that can stand toe-to-toe with the absolute best and take tournaments.
Well, that's beautifully said. I think on that note, we should go. I mean, what can I add? It's exactly like that.
If on this day I made you speechless, then that's actually my crowning achievement. So I'll take that home to the bank right now. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and introduce the casters for our final match of the evening, but stay tuned because we will be back tomorrow. It is going to be Caleres and Apollo.
Thanks very much, guys. All right, the final series of the night. And it's a big one. It's a team kill, MMA versus Nerchio. Wow.
Yeah, I've been, what can I say, looking forward to this one since the brackets were released. Yeah. Out of all the 4 games that we could have seen today, this was the one that stood out the most. It's 2 players from arguably one of the best top 2 teams in the foreign scene in StarCraft 2. Yes. Team Acer have really made a massive name for themselves. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which way you look at it, there's a team kill. But on the bright side of things, at least one Team Acer player will represent Europe in the Season 3 finals. One Acer player could go to win the entire thing here.
And this has kind of become a little bit of a trend. It's slowly becoming a trend, at least, for Acer players to meet one another. MMA met Scarlet. The Season 2 finals, and unfortunately for him, lost. Yeah. And now, here with our maps, Aklon Waste goes, and so does Whirlwood.
So, I spoke to MMA.
Yeah, yeah.
He's nervous. Is he? Yeah. And the reason for that is because there's a lot of pressure. I spoke to him last week about BlizzCon, and we saw it in his interview. It's a very touching interview, because it means more than anything in the entire world. Because he played in front of all those thousands and thousands of people cheering and chanting his name. He beat MVP 4 games to 1 and was basically on top of the world.
Yep.
And that feeling is something, as you saw from the interview, that will stick with him forever. He wants that chance to go back, and he really wants it. To be able to get that chance to go back, he really needs a win here to make sure he goes to the season finals, to make sure he gets those extra points. Currently sitting just outside of the point system. Obviously, you need to be top 16. He's 21. 5 ranks away. With a win here, he pushes himself closer and closer, if not into top 16, actually. If he was to win here with the points he'd automatically gain from the Season 3 finals.
And it's very, very important here for MMA. Yonsu, Polar Knight, Frost, Derelict Watcher, and then Belshire Vestige will be our series of maps. And Nerchio, right now, isn't in too comfortable a position in terms of advancing on.
Yeah.
So that's a little difficult for him. But obviously there's a lot of pride going into this as well. Going up against a player like MMA currently, who has a great win ratio against Zerg players and has beaten the likes of people like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Snoo and unfortunately falling to Scarlet. But that's one of the only blips on his against Zerg record here.
He's always been an absolutely amazing Zerg killer. I remember watching Zerg players that were playing against him from behind them and just looking at the game, and basically they had all the minimap covered, right? You could see everything.
Yeah.
And slowly the fog of war closed in on them until they were only looking at 1 or 2 bases left. MMA destroys you, will drop you everywhere. He's one of the fastest players, will try to make you dizzy. But on the other hand, another player with a very high win record, as Grubby said, against a respective other race is Nerchio, 75%.
Yeah, and he plays a very interesting, once again, mid-game focus style that we saw from him against 4GG. But of course, going into this, MMA, he saw those games. Of course he did. He's looked at those. He studied those. He knows what he's going to be going up against. But Nerchio still has the opportunity to swing from style to style. He can utilize every tool in his belt.
And I think Nerchio is a very forward individual to understand. He goes into this game, he goes, you know, I'd love to win, but also I don't really care if I lose. I'll play for tomorrow, maybe I still get to go to season finals, whatever. Whereas everything is on the line for MMA in this game.
Yes.
Because it will hurt him mentally to go into tomorrow's games, of course. He's going to be broken a little bit by Nerchio. It's not going to be easy, as he said, to be able to get to the Season 3 finals. So it's all on the line here. Nerchio beat 4GG, made him look like nothing. If he's to bring a similar form and similar style today, without a care in the world, without no pressure, he could very easily stop MMA right in his tracks here now.
He really could. And this now our final series of the night between the two Acer players looking to advance on to the round of 4, as we have spawning up to the top right-hand corner our Red Terran, representing Acer as well as Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for MMA. Down to the bottom left, our blue Zerg, also representing Acer and Poland. Ladies and gents, give it up for Nerchio.
All right, so both of these players know each other and how they play. I don't think we'll see too many weird mind games, to be honest. I think we'll see regular plays. Because in Terran vs. Zerg, there aren't that many different styles to play. Terran players are usually pushed into 3 command centers, macro base play, and Zerg players are usually either going Zergling, Mulus, and Baneling, or for some weird Roach Hydra play. It's very normal, to be honest. We don't see too much differences between the 2 players, or at least the 2 races. So what I'm expecting is actually maybe a 5-game series here of long games. This could be a very long series.
It certainly could be. Nerchio's a guy that can quite easily go into those macro games, and likewise MMA. He's not going to feel too bad about going triple CC if he wants to very, very quickly. I like what he's doing in this first game, though. Getting that gas out, looking to get a Reaper out early on, and then try and get a sense of what his opponent's up to.
Yeah, I mean, Reaper expands are actually, for a lot of Terran players, better than Command Center firsts. Because if you look at this map, there's actually a couple of angles you can come into the base. Yep. North of the hatchery, in Nerchio's base, there's actually a place you can jump in with the Reapers, up here. So there's one angle, and then you've got the other one, which is by the ramp, and straight, like, top right of the ramp, another one. There's the one down there. There's lots of places for Reapers to come in to look for drone kills.
Yeah.
There's a massive space in between the main and the natural. Creep isn't going to be spread there. And absolutely, Reapers with Hellions offer great scouting, great harassment. The third isn't ever going to be easy for Nerchio to take on. And then put everything together that this is one of the smallest maps in the map pool, if not the smallest. this is a really good starting map for MMA, I'd like to say.
It's just a super stable opening, and interestingly enough, that drone's already on patrol here, just to make sure his opponents, once these Reapers, he's anticipating Reapers, he's making sure that no weird bunkers going down to really stop him or halt him, or an SCV coming along to make that happen as well. Because we've seen Terrans do that in the past, and it's caused Zergs lots and lots of problems.
Yeah, to be honest, the two builds you're going to encounter as a Zerg player is Command Center first or Reaper expand, so he's expecting this completely, and here we do have the Reaper first coming in. The Queen isn't ready, neither of the 4 Zerglings. There is an option for a drone kill if Nerchio was to slip up.
Ooh, doesn't have the mineral. Oh, okay, just barely got the minerals in the very end there. The Zerglings do come out to try and buy time for those Queens. Not doing too bad a job here with saving that initial drone. That's very good. Has to still be careful,
one drone
though.
Kill, 2 drone kills. Fantastic start here for MMA. 2 drone kills right off the bat. And is he going to lose the Reaper? It's got 2 hits left. And nope, off creep and should get
one more shot.
Away. Yeah. Good start for MMA. Really, really good start. And now the other Reaper comes in.
Oh, that's annoying. Multitasking with these Reapers is really stretching Nerchio slightly thin.
And of course, now they go off creep, they heal, they come back in. But look, a Roach one's been thrown down by Nerchio. Starting off this series with a bang. He says, all right, well done for getting a couple of drone kills. But he is gonna Roach rush him here.
Yeah. This is kind of, what I was anticipating here from Nerchio, because he knows that his opponent's going to probably be playing a stable game, and there's going to be probably Hellions on the way as well. Very nice micro there once again by MMA. So Nerchio's just going to throw the spanner in the works, and he's actually not getting Hellions. He's changing it up a little.
He's going straight towards a tank.
So clever.
I think that this is a build I think Fantasy used a lot, maybe going for a tank very early on and a Viking. A very, very defensive style here, if that's what it is. It looks like it, right? So
yeah, unless he switches it over, but that would be kind of weird timing.
No, he's going to switch it over. He actually is going to switch it over here. But he's seen the Roach Warren, and to be honest, I'm not too sure what's the best here. The Banshee's going to be great. Tank's great too, but he's going to stick with the Banshee here by the looks of it. It's a little bit slower though. I'd freak out and just get the fastest thing possible, which is a tank.
Yeah,
because the Tech Lab was already ready. But he's going to try and go over to... You need to use the Tech Lab.
Yeah. This needs to happen right now. Those Roaches are on the way. He's got 2 bunkers, and he's going to have that solid wall off there. But he may lose a few SCVs if he's not careful with the control.
And he hasn't got a 3rd command center because he has gone over to the starport. So any damage that is dealt here is very difficult to recover from, and there's quite a few Roaches. He's going to send the Reapers across the map to maybe get into the drone line here to deal some counter damage, but we'll see how many SCVs are going to get picked off here.
I like that decision from him. Those Reapers aren't really going to do too much against these Roaches, so you may as well. Nice hopping into that second bunker there, just to be able to get a bit more firepower onto those Roaches for a little longer.
And 6 Marines is actually fine now. I kind of underestimated the amount of Marines that were there, and now with the double Reapers going into the mineral line, it's a very, very good hold here by MMA so far.
Has to pull the drones away, needs to make a Spore Crawler to save. Oh, but the Queen is still pushing it away, gets another drone kill. MMA doing good so far.
And now the Banshee's out too, so really solid play from MMA. He's got Cloak on the way too. Another advantage, or disadvantage should I say, for a Zerg player, is the difference between the 3rd and the natural. There's no creep spread going that way yet, or it's only just now started, I think. If at all.
Well, not only that, but...
Yeah, just now started, but the Banshees could maybe even kill the hatchery.
Yeah, it could do a lot here. It's already doing a lot of damage to the Roaches because they can't escape it. They're just not fast enough without Glory Constitution. Double Engineering Bay behind this for MMA, so he's playing this out fantastically in the opening stages against Nerchio.
Yeah, this is a little bit bad here for Nerchio, and he does not want to lose that hatchery. He now realizes threats. Sword Crawlers are being made, but obviously there's no creep going down to his 3rd.
It's really important to break those rocks so the Queens can get in between those bases a little bit quicker. Otherwise, they have to go around the whole way. But Cloak now engaged. That Spore Crawler.
The Marines are coming across the map to do the damage. The Queens are being pushed back by the Banshees.
Oh, this is a really, really smart move here by MMA.
If he gets a snipe on that 3rd hatchery, I cannot tell you how far behind Nerchio will fall in this game. To a position that is very, very difficult to recover from. He cannot lose the hatchery, but can he stop it?
He can't even move towards that 3rd with the Roaches because they're keeping him back by these Banshees. Really good moves here so far by MMA. He's going to lose the hatchery. There's one Roach there trying to deal with it, but it's gone. It's going.
A fantastic start here by MMA, destroying the hatchery on the 3rd. And all of a sudden, Nerchio is equal in supply, but down in a lot of other areas because 1-1 is on the way for MMA. He's got 3 command centers. His barracks are done. There's Overlords gonna die here. Things are starting to spiral out of control for Nerchio.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Spiraling out of control.
Look at the units lost.
Oh, dear me. Spiraling out of control is the best way to describe this game right now. MMA, with that aggression, I mean, he could happily fall back, have his upgrades on the way, have a third command center fully running, and he's going to land it, and there's not a whole lot Nerchio can do about that.
Nerchio has got to fight against 3 Banshees, whether that be Queens out in the open trying to creep spread, whether it be a hole in the mineral lines where there's no Spore Crawler for the Banshees to get in. The Banshees offer so much for MMA, and it was an absolutely fantastic decision in the first place to go for it. Of course he could have rushed out of tank, yeah, but he didn't need an immediate defense. He was fine with what he had, and then decided, well, in the later stages, of course losing that Banshee there, but in the later stages, these Banshees is what I want to go for. If I got a tank, would I be able to stop that third? No, probably not.
Exactly, you couldn't be aggressive with this at all, but the airborne threat still looms over Nerchio. He's losing drone after drone. He's lost 13 drones so far. Spore Crawler's trying to burrow to deal with this, but he'll just fly out of range.
Yeah, and Nerchio's actually making one of the smart Zerg decisions here to say, all right, I'm really far behind. If I try to play Zergling, Baneling, Mutalisk, I simply won't have enough gas to build a high Mutalisk count or a high enough gas count to increase my Baneling count. So what he's going to rely on is the term everybody loves, money fungals, because that's actually maybe one way he can get back into it. He knows he's in terrible position. Look at the numbers.
Yeah, that's a really, really scary position here for Nerchio. I mean, if MMA wants to, with this army he's amassing, he could easily just move across the map and just kill his opponent right now.
He could actually just kill the third hatchery again. Picking off the queen there. This hatchery's taking a lot of damage. There's queen coming across. If he gets that hatchery... Oh, look at it. Oh, look at MMA saying, hey, whoa, woohoo, choo-choo, woo.
What?
He's loving life. He's absolutely loving life. MMA saying, this game is so easy. I told you on Twitter I was going to beat you. Come on, what are you going to do against SCVs?
Not a whole lot. The army count currently stands at 46, army supply to 85. Marine's going to work as well. Not even 2-2. He doesn't even have to wait for his 2-2. He completely demolishes everything at the natural.
SCV.
Is there every SCV
He's killing his own Marauder at the back. He doesn't care.
Well, I guess why not? The drones, even drones die off to that Widow Mine as well. This army's just too much to deal with.
This is, hands up, the most one-sided game we've seen all day. MMA crushing Nerchio.
G to the G, MMA takes a 1-0 lead in this best of 5, and he looked pretty content with himself after that one.
Yeah, well, I think the weight of the world that was probably on his shoulders before entering this game has now been lifted. In Control came up and said, I'll bench that for you, bro. And flicked it off, because all of a sudden now, MMA must be feeling great. He looks still very calm, but inside, he's like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah, I can.
He can. And, if he continues on that form, if he continues to just Reaper expand and Nerchio tries to pressure early on, I think Nerchio now has to kind of abandon that particular timing for the whole series, because it just got dominated.
Absolutely one-sided series there. No other way to describe it. As MMA, of course, the BlizzCon 2011 champion, looking to join the BlizzCon 2010 champion in the semi-finals, and the likes of Genius get that chance to play at the Season 3 finals, which, as mentioned before, will be held in Canada and will be an amazing tournament. But here's the next map, though. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Just map number 1 of a potential 5. Welcome to Polar Night.
Yep, Polar Night is our second map, and it's a little bit of an interesting one. We saw Nerchio playing a very impressive style on this map in the past, against 4GG, for example, using those, Roach Baneling tactics through the mid-game, using all of the gas on those Banelings and Roaches as opposed to Mutalist play. And is MMA prepared for something like that if it occurs?
Well, I think he may be.
I think so as well. All right, let's get into game number 2 between Nerchio and MMA. If MMA were to go 2-0 up in this series, that would be extremely hard for Nerchio to come back. But now, spawning up to the top left-hand corner are Red Terran, representing Acer as well as Korea. Give it up for MMA. And down to the bottom as our Blue Zerg, representing Acer as well as Poland. Give it up for Nerchio.
Vortex, of course, has made a big claim here today, saying Stefano has come and he's gone. The title for #1 Zerg player in Europe is mine. And the only player that can rival that is Nerchio, but not if he loses here. Not if he loses here. Of course, Vortex would be the last remaining European Zerg and would be looking to keep that title.
Was that by chance a second SCV that I just saw?
It is indeed. You have a 2 barracks opening here for MMA in the center of the map, a very difficult location to scout, especially considering the Overlord from Nerchio previously. The one that went to the natural of his opponent stayed at the natural.
Yeah.
It did not go and check the ramp, which is the only way unless he sends a drone scout to see this coming. Because what you end up doing is you go, oh, there's no barracks. Oh, there's no command center. Maybe there's 2 barracks coming. Yeah, sometimes that happens, but with no scout at all.
What can you do?
This is very difficult. It's very difficult to hold off, but to Nerchio's credit, there has been players who have held this off before.
And that spawning pool was relatively quick after the expansion going down. Sometimes you see, quite a few drones coming out, maybe 1 or 2 in between that, but that was a quick spawning pool. So, and he does spot the bunker. He's been searching for this in the past game as well.
Yep, so he does spot the bunker here, which is a nice heads up, and this should start to give him the signal that an attack is coming. Now seeing a second SCV and a Marine, he now knows 100%, but can he make the defense? If not, MMA could be looking at a very, very swift 2-0.
Drones need to come off the line to deal with this. A few more.
Yeah, there's a lot coming.
Oh, yeah, there is. Well, that's useful for Nerchio.
Can't let the Marine get surrounded. Can't let the Marine get surrounded.
Oh, the bunker finishes already, though, and that's a really good place to reinforce from. Second bunker has been surrounded and will get pushed back, but he's already lost 1 drone.
Yeah, and now there's 3 Marines, and they're going to just run around, go back to the other bunker if all the drones come off the line again. 8 Zerglings are in the way.
Oh, he's not even bothering with the spy. Oh, okay, he does actually switch over to that and forces the cancellation already. Second spine's going to go down, but a second bunker.
There's an Overlord on the right-hand side that could get sniped. You never want to lose an Overlord in this position. That slows you down a lot.
Don't get supply block, don't get supply block. A third bunker as well. That's a full wall off. I'm pretty sure that's a full wall off. And, well, he forces the cancel of it in the end, but those Marines get just back to it barely.
Slip through. Now the bunker at the front completes as well, so they'll bunny hop over soon, but a full surround going on to that bunker. 2 SCVs are remaining to keep it alive, and they do for a very long time, and MMA has an SCV alive somehow still.
He's got a few spines about to finish up in that mineral line, so maybe if he can position those well enough, he can be able to hold this, but...
It's a classic. The ticking bomb is ticking, Clash, because the hatchery, if that dies, then I don't need to say anything else.
Finito.
So he's going to have to basically buy as much time as possible to get as many Zerglings out as possible, then uproot the spines, put them close, and go for an attack. But the 1 spine's already getting hit.
Yeah, it is. Losing that's a big deal, especially with those 2 SCVs reinforcing once again to try and keep that alive for just a little longer.
They can jump out and go to another bunker.
Exactly. And even more SCVs rendezvous with this as well. And now there's no killing this bunker. It's not going to die before with that spine crawler. At least he needs a ton of Zerglings to push it off.
There's 21 Zerglings. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
That's a lot. Can he make the hold here? He's going to have to probably uproot that spine. Well, I guess it's already hitting it, so it doesn't matter as much. But
7 Marines.
The hatchery is sooner full. He has to go. He's going to pull his drones. Can he make the hold?
More Marines are actually reinforced with that bunker at the back as well. Here he's going to lose a lot of Zerglings. And it doesn't die. GG.
Yeah.
MMA 2-0 lead in this series. And I swear these players just want to get it over and done with, man. Today it's been quick.
This has been a very fast day. Lots of fast, clean sweeps from these players, and MMA is now just one single map away.
All right, well, can Nerchio bring it back in this best of 5? It's going to be so hard after these first 2 games where he just hasn't looked in any way, shape, or form in a winning position. MMA's just been dominating from start to finish.
From start to finish without even a drop of sweat today. There's no hard work right now for MMA. It's been very, very easy, game 1 and game 2. And now loading into game number 3 very, very soon here, going on to Frost. MMA could make a 3-0 sweep against his teammate.
He certainly could. Nerchio now has to book up his ideas as we do go over to Frost for that 3rd map. As you rightly pointed out, MMA versus Nerchio. Once again, the team kill comes out from Acer, but MMA is looking for a whole lot more than just a round of 4.
Yeah, this is MMA searching for a Season 3 finals and ultimately BlizzCon, where the global finals will take place. 16 of the best players, and MMA wants to be one of those.
They've proved it all year round. Can MMA be one of those players as we go into game number 3 to find out if he can get the clean sweep? Spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner are Red Terran, representing Acer as well as Korea. Give it up for MMA. some of the members of ASA. And up to the top left are Blue Zerg, representing ASA as well as Poland. Give it up for Nerchio.
Well, I thought this series could be one of the closer ones we've had today, but it keeps on the pattern of the others, and seems to be so far the complete opposite to that.
This map could give us a difference, though. It's Frost. It's a good map for Zerg, I feel, to take advantages later on in the mid-game, but does MMA even let him get there is the question.
And MMA's going over to the other build, well, the other third build, I suppose, including the 2 Rex here. But the most 2 common builds is the Reaper Expand, as mentioned, and Command Center first. And MMA's going to Command Center first now, changing it up a little bit from game 1 to 2 to 3. And Nerchio in this position, I wonder if he would even think about a possible 2 Rex happening again here. I don't know. I mean, it's very rare you see it happen 2 times in a row, but it's not uncommon.
Yeah, I think he'll send the drone out to the front to try and spot for a bunker or something like that, as we saw him in game number 1 already preparing for that. But these spawn positions on this map, specifically more so than anything, with this command center on the low ground, it's a little bit difficult for Nerchio if it goes into a longer game. Why do I say that? Well, the 4th base for Nerchio, if he takes the one down to the south from his position, that's very, very close to MMA. And if he takes the one over to the top right, which is a little bit further away, it's still vulnerable to drops. It's very, very far away from his thirds and mains.
Yeah, it's definitely something that could cause a problem for Nerchio later on. But a more immediate problem, I suppose, we could look at here is how is he going to scout inside the main base here? How does he know it's 3 command centers? How does he know it's not extra barracks in these positions? It could be Blue Flame Hellion. There's a couple of different openings that now MMA, if he sees this overload, which he should, could very easily say, well, you're in the top left. And now that means it's pretty difficult for you to get an overload inside my main base and scout me. So we could see a change-up from MMA instead of the norm.
Oh, did not reveal that Overlord. Smart moves here by Nerchio, now realizing that his opponent's in that location. And, well, SCV is going to head off up to the top right and eventually scout out Nerchio once it goes over to the left. Oh, is he going to... No, okay.
No, he sees there's no hatchery there, so he now knows that he's in the top left. If Nerchio had gone for 1 base roaches, though, in the top right, that would be a funny story, wouldn't it? That's not the case.
Yeah, it certainly would be. We've seen 1 base roach from Nerchio in the past against some prolific Terrans. Maybe someone that he beat in the round of 16. But anyway, Zergling's going to tail this SCV.
And MMA will just return home. He knows his opponent's top left. And he has thrown down the factory. Now Reactor will fall onto that barracks. So the question is now, does MMA just play a normal game? Does he just go up to 3 command centers? Does he add on anything special here, knowing that his opponent will have a hard time scouting him? That's what we're going to have to find out. But one thing to note is that an unscouted Nerchio has thrown down gas early. He could go for a roach bailing attack. He doesn't necessarily need to get speed here. He could go roaches early on.
Oh.
As I scratch my head, I see a very fast layer.
All right.
And this reminds me of his games against 4GG last time. And he went for a very fast layer, and I was really confused about it. He was really messed up with his gas, because I remember he's floating like 400 gas before a decision's made. Yeah. So this looks much more cleaner of a build. What this could be is just roach speed fast, bailing speed fast, some form of 2-base play. That's kind of the composition that he worked around last time, and I think we could see it again here.
I think so as well. This is what he was doing before with that quick clearer constitution, and it makes it for a hard time for the Terran if they're not aware of it. Those roaches hunting that down very quickly, and there we go, there's the comp.
Yeah, this is definitely a more streamlined setup, because last time me and Grubby were sitting here like, what is going on? He's got 500 gas, he hasn't built a layer, he hasn't got any evolution chambers, and then eventually it happened, but this looks a lot cleaner. So as the Roach 1 and Bailing Nest finishes, I'm pretty sure we'll see Roach Speed and Bailing Speed start. And this could be a very fast, deadly timing, an all-in per se, that we could see from Nerchio. Doesn't necessarily need to all-in from this, but it could be that.
This is an ambitious thought, but what if MMA just decided to run past everything? It would be so scary to try. Yeah, he's moving
with only 2 Hellions, right?
He moved the Queen.
It's very difficult to make this work with just 2. For more, if there was more than 2, 4, 6, I think so.
But at least with the Hellions, he'll get notification of what's going on pretty fast when it's front.
But the thing is, okay, so he sees it. Maybe he can build the bunkers on time, but he may not have any units to fill those bunkers, right? He's got 3 command centers and double engineering base.
Look at this scan.
Yeah.
He sees everything. He sees them whirring away. He knows that Glider Constitution, he knows that centrifugal hooks are on the way. So bunkers galore, and there's already 3 on the way.
Yeah, so MMA's a little bit slow when it comes to his production, clearly, because he's got 3 command centers, but he's just building 1 million bunkers.
Everywhere.
Because he knows that this is going to be kind of hard to deal with no units. We may see mines be made from the factory here once the reactor's done. I think that kind of could be cool.
Yeah, very nice. And behind this, in total, it's 39 workers to 41. So Nerchio is committing a lot to this. He does have an okay economy, but it could be much better here. And MMA, if he stabilizes, if he holds strong, with just 1 Marine niche, he's distributing this so well.
All right, if he holds, he'll have 1-1 versus 0-0. He'll have Medivac soon versus no Mulisks at all. He'd have 3 command centers versus 2 hatcheries.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's very difficult to win from a position if this doesn't kill MMA. And a beautiful scan from MMA is giving him 1,000 seconds to prepare for this. Here comes the Baneling morph. And MMA is just... He's going to poke out. He's going to... I guess this is coming still.
Yeah.
And then he's just got to hold. And if he can, then this could be absolutely wonderful for him. But can he?
Let the Hellions in, let the Hellions in. He kind of raises the supply depots a little bit quicker, and now he's kind of stuck out here with the Hellions. Tries to raise them, and he... raise it! Okay, he does raise it. But Bailey's going to try and crash on through, killing off a few of these bunkers, but the units are well distributed. SCVs come off the line and do actually get killed off by quite a lot. But these Roaches and Banelings that are left over, they're not going to do a whole lot against this army.
No, he needs to almost kill MMA here. Because of the 3 command centers, Mules will allow him to catch up a lot. 26 more Zerglings, no drones, no future tech. But Nerchio has broken the front door here, and he has forced his opponent in the main base. The starport was never thrown down. He just thought he could maybe hold on and get it later, but this still could be difficult for MMA to break out from, but remember, with no drones, no future tech, Nerchio is still gunning for a kill.
If Nerchio wants to continue this, he has to be very careful about those 2 Widow Mines on the high ground here.
Yeah.
Those can do a lot of damage. He needs to send at least 1 Roach or 2 Roaches, and there's the Overseer. Very important. But no. You don't want to do that, and oh, dear me, he's going to lose all of those Banelings so quickly.
They're all gone, and MMA calls down Neil, says, get out the game. This is mine, it's 3-0. I'm sorry, teammate, I'm sorry, friend, but no. MMA says, well, you just blew up all your Banelings on mines, and he takes his naturally, rebuilds the bunkers, and this is, from what it seems, the one of the most one-sided games here today, unfortunately. Nerchio isn't giving up. 2 evolution chambers down. He's going to play from behind. It's 1-1 versus 0-0, and the Medivacs are the only way out, which is very scary.
All right, 37 army supply to 20. He is ahead in worker counts, but as you said, Mules and triple SCV production going to help out quite a lot. He's going for another push, but there's so many units out for MMA right now.
Yeah, he's got a lot, and he's got stim, he's got combat shields.
Split back. Those Banelings are doing nothing. They're doing nothing. The bunkers don't even die to them. Yeah. Eventually they go down, but he lost so much in that attack.
MMA's probably just going to walk across the map. Maybe win the game, maybe go to Canada, maybe go to the Season 3 finals, maybe. As we can see, this is almost impossible for Nerchio to defend. The problem is that he cannot deal with the Medivacs. He has no mules. They're going to pick up if he ever looks like he's about to lose a fight. He is down in SCVs, but with 3 mules, he's okay for now. He is supply blocked a little bit, 81, which is slowing him down here. But let's see how much damage is dealt now with these units.
This is the big problem, the drops. The drops can come in at any time here and do some damage. He does lose quite a few of those Marines, but there you go. MMA is back. GG. And Nerchio is defeated, and MMA advances on to the round of 4 in absolute fantastic fashion.
Congratulations to MMA, who will represent Europe alongside the other 3 players that we had today. A fantastic day for Vortex, MC, Genius, and now MMA. We have our top 4 here at the World Championship Series Europe Premier League. We have a Terran in there.
We do.
And apparently MMA is back, says Nerchio.
MMA is back. And, you know, with a little bit of a smile on his face as well. But now we have our 4 players decided. And tomorrow there is only 1 spot left. For all of the 4 players that lost today, they still have that one opportunity to gain themselves a spot in Canada.
Which is very difficult, which now means Nerchio will play against Stardust tomorrow. Ooh. Targa will play against Duck Duck tomorrow for still the opportunity to get 5th place to go to the Season 3 finals. But we've got 4 confirmed that are 100% representing Europe. And what a fine 4 they are.
Yeah. Very, very good 4. And now, guys, without further ado, let's hear from the winner advancing on to the round of 4, Mr. Acer MMA.
Thank you, Claris and Apollo. Congrats to MMA. You just defeated your teammate Nerchio, a very formidable opponent, 3-0. So going into this, I have to ask, it's always interesting when teammates play against each other. Did you prepare anything special for Nerchio, or did you kind of go into this training against Zerg in general?
팀 멤버랑 게임을 하는데 특별히 뭐 준비한 게 있었는지 아니면 그냥 일반 저그 상대하는 듯이 했는지.
일단 1세트의 비중을 제일 많이 둬가지고 1세트에서 좀 상대랑 빌드가 많이 갈리면서 좀 멘탈적으로 상대가 많이 흔들렸던 것 같아요. 그래서 저도 그걸 느끼고 평상시에 안 하는 그 SCB 같이 끌고 가서 좀 멘탈을 좀 흔들려고 했거든요. 그래서 좀 1, 2, 3세트 좀 손쉽게 따낸 것 같아요.
So I mostly concentrated on the first match. So when I saw that I was winning the game, I pulled my SCVs to kind of win in the mental game, so I could take the other games more easily. So yeah.
Okay. This is going to set up your match against Vortex tomorrow to determine who's going to go to the finals. Vortex, another European Zerg player. Have you played against him? Do you know of his style? What are your thoughts going into that match?
다음 매치가 이제 보틱스 선수인데 보틱스 상대는 어떻게 생각하고 그 경기에 대해서는 어떻게 생각하는지.
일단 볼틱스 선수가 유럽에서 가장 잘하는 저그라고 알고 있고 또 레더에서 해봤는데 굉장히 잘하더라고요. 그래서 내일이 토너먼트 대회인 만큼 좀 준비하는 건 없고 그냥 기본기 위주로 해야 될 것 같아요.
So I know that Vortex is a very good Zerg player, one of the best in Europe. So it will be a very hard opponent, and since tomorrow is the game, I won't have the time to practice a lot. So I'll just use my basic skill to face him.
Okay, now stepping a little bit outside of this match, you were the only Terran representative for WCS Europe in both the top 8 of this season, but also the previous season. So I'm going to ask you that question that a lot of people love to hear the answer to. Is Terran underpowered?
지난 시즌도 마지막 테란으로 남고 이번 시즌도 마지막 테란으로 남았는데 테란이 너무 약한지.
좀 이런 얘기하면 좀 그렇겠지만 좀 한국에서는 좀 테란이 많이 약하다고 하더라고요. 그래서 한국의 코리아 랭킹 레더 보면은 토스랑 저그가 꽉 잡고 있거든요. 그래서 한국 쪽이 좀 토스랑 저그가 많이 강한 것 같아요.
So it's hard to directly say that Terran is underpowered, but if you see the ladder in Korea, all the Protoss and Zergs are at the top GM list, and so most of the Korean Terran and Protoss players are really strong.
So then what happens, MMA, if you win this tournament? Does that make it harder for you to make that argument, or?
그럼 만약에 이 대회를 이긴다면 그래도 테란이 이기니까 그럼 어떻게 되는 건지.
원래 스타크래프트 2가 1부터 그랬듯이 좀 잘하는 사람이 이기는 게임이라서 네, 잘하는 사람이 이길 것 같아요.
It's like in StarCraft 1, the better player wins. So,
which was a Terran player. Yes, I agree with him very much. So thank you. Yeah. All right, thank you very much, MMA. Congrats on your big win. I think we're ready to shoot it over to a collection of overpaid specialists. It's all the commentators.
Thanks very much, Jeff. MMA advancing on. Did well for himself. All right, well, that wraps up the games for today, guys. Out of all the games that we had during the entire day, it was a pretty quick one. What were your highlights, Grubby, from today?
I think Genius winning 3-0 in the PvP for me was once again the most impressive. It came with very well prepared builds. Came from behind to win, came from ahead to win. It didn't matter how, but he just won 3-0, and super thrilled to see Genius MC tomorrow.
Sean?
So, on the front cover, I'm an esports StarCraft commentator, but behind all of it, I'm a StarCraft fan. And I've been a fan for a very long time, and to see MMA winning today, even though it was one of the most one-sided games. I'm happy that he is winning again. I'm happy that maybe he can go on to do well at the Season 3 finals to represent Europe as well. And even though it's a weird one, that kind of is a highlight for me. I'm a big MMA fan, I always have been, and hopefully he can continue on to perform well.
I think in the end we have a fantastic top 4 going on into tomorrow. So let's just take a look at what exactly unfolded today in the brackets, as we have obviously MMA and Vortex going to be meeting each other tomorrow, and MC Genius, which is something a lot of people have been looking forward to. Do I dare ask which of these series you guys are looking forward to?
Well, I'm also actually looking, of course, MC Genius, as I already said, but I'm also looking a lot forward to the 5th place decider match, which all the losers will be playing. Stardust against Vortex, and Targa against Nerchio, right? No.
Yeah.
Nerchio Stardust.
Yeah.
And Targa Duck Duck. Yeah, one of these guys will win twice in a row and will qualify for the Season 3 finals.
And that's how tomorrow will start, actually. So just like the other seasons, the first couple of games will be the ones that you can see on screen. And they are going to be great. The top 4 that we have are fantastic players. They will represent Europe in the Season 3 finals. And we will have the Season 3 champion will be one of those 4. But I have to agree with you, too. As good as the top games are with MMA versus Vortex, that's going to be a good one, especially how well Vortex is playing, right? And then the PvP that you want to watch is amazing as well. But also the 5th place decider matches are awesome, too.
Yeah, we've really got a very good set of games. We have a little bit of a clash. I'm expecting Vortex to do really well in this tournament. You're expecting MMA. I think a lot of people are expecting MMA in the end, but I'll stick with Vortex and see how it goes. So that wraps up things from us for today. Any last words, Group?
15 hours from now, the StarCraft 2 action picks up again with those loser bracket matches for the 5th spot. Very excited you guys go and get a great weekend. Tomorrow's matches will surely help with that. And also, of course, have a great night, everyone. Get ready for another epic day of StarCraft 2 action tomorrow, right?
I echo his words.
All right. So without further ado, guys, we shall hand it over to Mr. In Control for the final word.
All right. Thank you, commentators. Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Checks in the mail for all of you. Do appreciate it. So I want to start this off by asking one thing, and it's been a big topic of discussion. Now, in America, we have what's called tabloid magazines. Here, no, I was going to make another joke. Anyways, one of the things we do is we say who wore it best. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot. Now, keep in mind, I'm right next to you, and I'm a very big guy. Who wore Caleris's hair better, me or Caleris?
Well, I think it depends on what you
it was me. No, go ahead.
I'm used to seeing Claire's with that hair, but I think you sort of innovate the style.
For a side-by-side comparison.
How do I get in? There we go.
That's what she said. Go ahead. No. I don't think anyways.
You should grow it out a bit more. And
Which one?
is fine. Well, you should.
Me? Yeah, I plan on it. Okay, thank you. Now, he says I wear it better. I innovated a lot better. What do you think? I agree, I do too. So, no, go ahead.
It's pretty good.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you so much for tuning in. I know it's been a long day. Thank you guys for being an awesome audience this whole time. We want to remind you guys, we did receive some pictures with that hashtag WCS, so we're going to look at them now. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of that fan art. I like it. I think that's a Hydralisk. Yeah? Pretty good.
It's pretty good.
All right. Okay. That is a Marine, I think. See the penmanship there. Yeah. That's a cake. So I think it's an Overlord cake. Good. Very cool, Mutalisk. Yeah. Yeah, we can clap for each one. Marine. All right. Ooh, I like it. I like it. Hey. That's pretty cool. All right, so the winner of that will be announced online. So if you submitted some of that artwork, make sure and check your Twitters. You might be getting a collector's edition StarCraft 2 Heart of the Storm signed by all the casters and the players here. They're doing it again tomorrow. So if you didn't win this time, send something else in. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us from here. We're going to be back at it tomorrow at the same time. Are you guys all going to be here too? Yeah? All right. Very cool. So with that, we bid you adieu. Have a good night, good morning, good evening, whatever the heck it is. We'll see you guys tomorrow.